Good morning. Thank you for joining me. This is Marcia with Living Divinity. So I pre-pulled some cards from the Idiom-Tarot, and this is gonna be a different way of doing the reading. So with each card, I'm going to describe to you what the idiom meaning is. So just follow along. I think it's going to be a real interesting read, and at the end, I'll give you. I'll summarize the reading. So the first card we have is the Queen of Coins. So the idiom for the Queen of Pentacles is a rock-solid provider or a nurturing homemaker with business sense, embodying groundedness, practicality, abundance, maternal care, focused on physical security, self-sufficiency, and creating a comfortable, stable environment through patience, consistent effort, making her the ultimate master of the material world. The next we have is the Two of Coins. And the Two of Coins, or Two of Pentacles. Okay. The idiom for the Two of Pentacles meaning is a juggling act, as the card represents balancing multiple responsibilities, finances, or priorities with flexibility and adapting, much like someone keeping different items in the air. So other related phrases are keeping all your plates spinning, going with the flow, making ends meet. Next we have is the Hermit. And the Hermit, there isn't one single idiom, but phrases that capture the Hermit's meaning is solitude, introspection, withdrawal. Include living like a hermit, being a recluse or a loner, seeking solitude, going off the grid, or being a homebody. Okay, for a less extreme version, they describe someone who prefers isolation, deep thought, or simply enjoys being alone, often for self-discovery or spiritual reasons. The next is the Seven of Cups. Wishful thinking, castle building, daydreaming. Those are the idioms. Okay, it signifies options, imagination, illusion, and escapism. It's about a lack of focus, many ideas or distractions, urging you to find clarity and action. Okay, so the next one is the Chariot. Okay, there's no single common English idiom for chariot. The word itself carries strong meanings of power, control, destiny, and rapid movement. Often linked to biblical spiritual ascent, Elijah's fiery chariot. Plato's allegory of the soul, reason, driving senses. Or Tarot's triumph of will over opposing forces. Phrases like time's winged chariot is urgency, and the French, stop your nonsense. Use it metaphorically for unstoppable forces and getting a grip. The next is the moon. Describes emotions, extreme emotions, over the moon for happy or moonstruck for infatuated. Unrealistic desires, ask the moon, promise the moon. Rare occurrences, once in a blue moon, or ambitious goals, shoot for the moon. Often contrasting the celestial body's perceived unattainable nature with earthly hopes or absurdities. So over the moon, shoot for the moon, reach for the moon, ask for the moon, promise the moon, once in a blue moon, to the moon and back, moonstruck, to moon over someone. The moon is made of green cheese, a moonlight flit. Okay, so the next one is the Five of Wands. Too many cooks in the kitchen, a dog-eat-dog world. It signifies petty arguments, group tension, or internal struggles where everyone is fighting to be heard without resolution. Other idioms, every man for himself, shouting match, creative strife. So it's like competition, right? The next is the Wheel of Fortune. Okay, so the idiom Wheel of Fortune signifies the unpredictable, cyclical nature of life, representing the ups and downs of fate where good fortune turns bad and vice versa, much like a literal spinning wheel controlled by the goddess Fortuna, bringing sudden changes and reversals in human affairs. It's about life's inherent instability, reminding us that our circumstances are constantly changing with no one staying at the top forever, emphasizing themes like pride becomes the fall and the inevitability of change. Okay. The next we have the Four of Swords. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, the Four of Swords. Somehow I don't see four. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, the Four of Swords. So, I have my roommate's dog here and my own, so that's probably what you're hearing on the background. The Four of Swords. Okay, the idiom for the Four of Swords is taking a much needed break or a rest. Okay, hitting the pause button, putting your feet up, taking a breather. So that describes the Four of Swords. The next is the High Priestess. The idiom for High Priestess means tapping into your inner wisdom, trusting your gut feelings, listening to your intuition, or looking beyond the surface for hidden knowledge. Phrases like listen to your inner voice, look within for answers. The next is the Three of Swords. The idiom for the Three of Swords, symbolizing heartbreak, betrayal, and painful truth, is a dagger to the heart, reflecting its core meaning of deep emotional wounding, broken trust, and the sorrow that comes from shattered illusions, often leading to necessary grief and clarity. It's about facing harsh realities like infidelity or painful endings that feel like a piercing wound, forcing emotional release and eventual growth. So, idioms: a dagger to the heart, heartbreak hotel, the truth hurts, shattered illusions, tears will flow. The next is the hangman. So the hangman This tarot card means voluntary sacrifice, pausing for new perspective, and surrendering control to gain deeper wisdom or spiritual growth. So, let's see. Surrender and letting go, new perspective, sacrifice for growth, suspension, and patience, transcendence. So it didn't actually give any idioms for that one. It's about letting go of old ways to find breakthroughs, seeing life from an upside-down angle to understand hidden truths, and trusting the process even when inactive. And the last card is the Nine of Swords. An idiom for the Nine of Swords is caught in a spiral of anxiety or a dark night of the soul, representing overwhelming fear, guilt, and sleepless worry, where thoughts create more suffering than reality, as if your mind is tormenting itself with self-criticism and dread. Common idioms: you're worrying yourself sick, heads in the clouds of dread, inner demons at war, a prisoner of your own mind. Okay, so those are all the cards. So I kind of feel like there is a Queen of Coins who she can make a beautiful, stable home. Okay, so she's juggling, yet the Hermit makes her just be isolated. She feels safe there. She knows her surroundings. She's looking out at the world with the Seven of Cups. What do I choose? Which direction do I go? Kind of thing. The Seven of Cups is having a lot of options, right? Or maybe she's narrowed it down. So the story's going to be different for all of us. Okay, so put it how it fits. The Moon, over the moon. Maybe she's over the moon about something. Maybe she talks to the moon. Okay, so again, a lot of these cards came out with hidden meanings, so she's probably trying to figure that out. The Five of Wands talks about the pettiness, the arguing for the sake of arguing, just to get the other perspective with no resolution, which can be very frustrating. The Wheel of Fortune is the balance. It's like you're not always going to be up on top. So, it's like that feast or famine thing. So you always have to plan to get through the hard times. And you have to appreciate when you're up. And even when you're down, you have to appreciate lessons learned. Okay, the Four of Swords is putting to rest. What is she putting to rest? Is she just taking a break and that's why she's in the hermit mode? Or is the hermit mode past tense for you? Okay, so the High Priestess is someone who is connected with her inner gut, her inner intuition. Okay, so maybe she's finding her way, but her way seems like it could be heartbreaking with the Three of Swords. The Three of Swords, again, past, present, or future. So, according to this reading, it's could be current. Okay, the Hangman, again, is trying to get a different perspective and trying to figure things out. So I kind of feel like this Queen of Coins possibly has run out of options, you know, or she can't choose. And the Nine of Swords represents, you know, just kind of having it all as far as negativity, I think. So the Nine of Swords, anxiety, guilt, hopelessness, fear, and stress. So with this being the ending card, my advice would be to take the time out you need. Figure out what are the things you can do, like one of those chart thingies, you know, a vision board, and you can write down all the things that you don't really have answers for, and you can visualize results, and that's why it's called a vision board, because when you're constantly looking at the bad in your life, there's kind of no way out. So you have to realize that with the wheel, you're going to have good and bad in life, right? So it's important for you to visualize, imagine how to get out of whatever it is that you're in that's making you feel anxiety, and you map out the way that you need to go, and you just free yourself. You might think that you are in the Eight of Swords, right? The Eight of Swords is being all in your head about something, but you need to clear that up, and you need to take your best foot forward, and you just need to choose what's best for yourself. That's the end of our reading. Thank you. God bless you. I send you love and light. Bye for now.